Can you believe the audacity? The sheer, unadulterated drama unfolding in the heart of Canadian hockey, where a veteran player's refusal to play has opened the door to the most unthinkable of scenarios. A potential jump to the arch-rivals. Tonight, we peel back the layers of a story that's got the entire league buzzing, a saga that pits loyalty against opportunity, and perhaps, just perhaps, could see a Toronto Maple Leaf forward donning the storied colors of the Montreal Canadiens. Is this the ultimate betrayal? A shocking defection that will forever be etched in the annals of hockey lore? Or is it a shrewd, strategic move, a calculated gamble waiting to happen, poised to reshape the landscape of the league's most iconic rivalry? Welcome, hockey fanatics, to an exclusive deep dive into the most perplexing and tantalizing trade rumor currently swirling through the NHL. We're talking about a situation so charged with intrigue, so steeped in the rich, often bitter history between two of hockey's most iconic franchises, that it feels less like a rumor and more like a seismic shift on the horizon. At the epicenter of this storm is David Kämpf, a name that, until recently, was synonymous with defensive reliability, quiet professionalism, and unwavering commitment for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But, how quickly the narrative can turn in the unforgiving, high-stakes world of professional sports. For years, Kämpf has been the unsung hero, the defensive conscience, the penalty-killing maestro for the Leafs. He was the kind of player coaches adore, diligent, responsible, and always putting the team first. He carved out a niche, a valuable role, and earned himself a contract that reflected his consistent, often thankless contributions. He was the glue, the steady hand, the player who did all the little things right that often go unnoticed, but are absolutely vital to a team's success. Yet, as the puck drops on a new season, Kämpf finds himself in an unenviable position, one that has escalated from a simple demotion to a full-blown standoff, casting a long, dark shadow over his future in Toronto. The initial news was jarring enough, a gut punch to anyone who followed the Leafs' roster moves. David Kämpf, a veteran center with 301 games under his belt for the Leafs, averaging over 14 minutes of ice time per night, was assigned to the AHL's Toronto Marlies. For any player, a demotion can be a bitter pill to swallow, a blow to the ego, a challenge to one's professional pride. It's a moment of reckoning, a test of character. But for Kämpf, it appears to have been more than just a demotion. It was a line in the sand, a point of no return. After just a handful of games with the Marlies, the veteran center made a decision that has sent shockwaves through the organization and ignited a firestorm of speculation across the league. He abandoned the team. This wasn't a minor hiccup, a temporary lapse in judgment. This was a complete refusal to report, a deliberate act of noncompliance that speaks volumes about his conviction. He stopped attending practices. He stopped showing up for games. In the high-stakes, highly structured environment of professional hockey, such an act is almost unheard of, especially from a player known for his unwavering commitment and professional demeanor. It's a move that signals a deep, perhaps irreparable rift between player and organization. The consequences were swift and severe, as they always are when a player deviates so dramatically from their contractual obligations. Kämpf was suspended, and with that suspension came the immediate cessation of his $2.4 million salary. Imagine that. A player earning millions choosing to walk away, effectively putting his financial well-being on hold. All because he refuses to play in the minor leagues. It's a testament to the depth of his conviction, or perhaps the extent of his frustration, a clear indication that he believes his place is in the NHL, not toiling in the minors. This isn't just a player being unhappy. This is a full-blown crisis for the Maple Leafs. They have a valuable asset, a player with a specific much-needed skill set, who is now actively refusing to participate. It creates a locker room distraction, a salary cap headache, and a public relations nightmare that the team desperately needs to resolve. The Leafs want to solve this problem, and quickly. Multiple reports suggest that a conclusion to Kämpf's tumultuous tenure in Toronto is imminent. The options are stark: a trade, a mutual termination of his contract, or, in a dramatic turn of events, Kämpf having a change of heart and deciding that playing in the AHL isn't so bad after all. But given the current trajectory, the steadfastness of his refusal, that last option feels increasingly unlikely. The bridge, it seems, has been burned, or at the very least, severely scorched, leaving little room for reconciliation. Now, this is where the story takes a truly sensational turn, where the plot thickens with the kind of delicious irony only hockey can deliver. If the Leafs do indeed go down the trade route, and all signs point to that being the most probable outcome, there's one team, one specific historic and utterly despised rival that has emerged as a potential suitor. We're talking about the Montreal Canadiens. The mere mention of a Maple Leaf player, especially one who has been a foundational piece of their defensive structure, potentially crossing enemy lines to join the Canadiens, is enough to send shivers down the spines of fans on both sides of the divide. It's the kind of narrative twist that fuels talk radio for weeks, ignites online forums with passionate, often vitriolic debate, and adds another fiery, unforgettable chapter to the league's most storied rivalry. The thought of Kämpf in a Habs jersey is, for many, an almost sacrilegious notion, yet it's one that's gaining undeniable traction. The speculation gained significant traction when NHL insider Chris Johnston, on the November 7th episode of The Chris Johnston Show, dropped a bombshell that resonated across the hockey world. Johnston, known for his astute observations, deep connections, and uncanny ability to read the tea leaves of the league, suggested that a team like the Canadiens, who are notably lacking a left-shot center on their roster, would find a player like Kämpf incredibly appealing. He highlighted Kämpf's attributes: his defensive prowess, his ability to shut down opposing lines, his responsible play in all three zones, as qualities that would be highly valued by a team like Montreal, a team that prides itself on a relentless two-way game under Martin St. Louis. On paper, as Johnston so eloquently points out, it makes an undeniable amount of sense. The acquisition cost for Kämpf, given his current situation and the Leafs' desperate need to move him, would likely be minimal, perhaps a late-round draft pick or a prospect who isn't quite panning out in their system. For a team like the Canadiens, who are in a different phase of their competitive cycle compared to the Leafs, building for the future while simultaneously competing in the present, acquiring a defense-first center to bolster their lineup and suffocate the opposing team isn't just a good idea, it's a strategic imperative. The Canadiens, led by their dynamic captain Nick Suzuki, certainly possess strength down the middle of their lineup, but every team can benefit from depth, especially a player who brings a specific, much-needed skill set that complements their existing core. Kämpf, with his defensive acumen, his face-off ability, and his penalty-killing expertise, could slot into a third or fourth-line role in Montreal and immediately make an impact. He could provide invaluable stability, allow other offensive-minded centers to focus on their strengths, and add a layer of veteran leadership to a relatively young Canadian squad. He's a player who understands what it takes to win, to play a responsible game, and to contribute in crucial, often overlooked ways. Crucially, in Montreal, Kämpf would likely find a much better opportunity to play a significant NHL role than he ever will again in Toronto, where the center depth is formidable and the expectations are sky-high. This could be the fresh start he so desperately craves, a chance to redefine his narrative in a new, albeit familiar, environment. However, there's always a caveat, isn't there? The devil, as they say, is in the details. Kämpf is signed through the 2026 to 27 season at that $2.4 million AAV. While most teams can fit that under their salary cap, the question remains, would spending that much for a player who is, by many accounts, a limited player in terms of offensive output truly make sense for any team? For the Canadiens, who are still building and evaluating their core, committing to a defensive specialist for the next 2.5 seasons at that price point requires careful consideration. It's a significant investment for a player whose primary contribution isn't lighting up the scoreboard, but rather shutting down the opposition. Yet, as speculated by Johnston and others, there are teams with very specific needs, like the Canadiens, where such an acquisition could indeed make perfect sense. They need a left-shot center. They need defensive responsibility, particularly in their bottom six. And they need players who can contribute to a winning culture, even if it's not through highlight reel goals. Kämpf fits that mold perfectly. The potential trade isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about addressing a strategic gap with a player who, despite his current predicament, still possesses valuable NHL-level skills that align precisely with Montreal's identity. The implications of such a move extend far beyond the ice. Imagine the headlines, the fan reactions, the sheer audacity of a player moving directly from the Maple Leafs to the Canadiens. It would reignite a rivalry that, while always simmering with historical animosity, could use a fresh dose of fuel, a new narrative thread to weave into its rich tapestry. It would be a story of redemption for Kampf, a strategic coup for the Canadiens, and a fascinating, if somewhat embarrassing, resolution for the Maple Leafs. It speaks volumes about the complex dynamics of player contracts, the ever-shifting needs of NHL franchises, and the unpredictable nature of professional sports, where allegiances can be tested and rivalries can take unexpected turns. So, as the hockey world holds its breath, we just wait and see the conclusion of this extraordinary saga. Will David Kampf find a new home in Montreal, becoming the latest chapter in the storied rivalry between these two iconic franchises? Or will another team swoop in, offering a different path forward? Perhaps against all odds, he might even reconcile with the Leafs, though that seems increasingly improbable. Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain. The situation surrounding David Kampf is a stark reminder that in the NHL, the drama off the ice can be just as compelling, just as unpredictable, and just as captivating as the action on it. What an incredible turn of events. This could be a story that truly embodies the passion and unpredictability of our game. The time for cautious optimism is over. The time for decisive action is now. What an exhilarating time to be a hockey fan, isn't it? The strategic battles off the ice are often as compelling, as dramatic as the ones on it. We want to hear what you think about this potential blockbuster. Could David Kampf truly thrive in Montreal, becoming a crucial piece of their evolving puzzle? Or is this just a pipe dream, a fantasy fueled by rivalry and desperation? Drop your thoughts, your predictions, and your deepest hockey insights in the comments below. Let's get this conversation going. Let's keep the debate roaring. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive, this exploration of the strategic chess match that is NHL management, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive insights into the heart of hockey. Your engagement fuels our passion, and we absolutely love hearing from you.